I grew up in the auction business, in a family-run business. Probably the greatest gift that I took from that was not learning the auction business, but a work ethic. And I think that work ethic for us today is probably our greatest strong point. We built a company around that. Auction Ohio was founded in 1997 in Columbus, Ohio. At that time in the auction world, we began to see the differences and the changes, and we decided that this is how we're going to do it, and this is how it's going to be better. In a live auction format, the way that we used to do it, if we were to expect a buyer to show up at an auction, to park 3 or 4 blocks away, to walk to the auction, and then look at those things they wanted to buy, and maybe they would see the table they were interested in, and upon looking at that table, decided they wanted to try to buy it, but it didn't sell until later in the auction, and maybe that was 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So they've arrived at 9 in the morning and stood around, and it's time for the table to sell. It's time for their moment of glory, and someone outbids them on the table, pays more than they're willing to pay. They leave in frustration, drive all the way back home, and at about 6 in the evening, sitting around the dinner table, the conversation is a little like this: we're not doing that again. And that's the world we live in today. The first event that happened in our world about 5 years ago was we had a company that came to us and needed to sell some equipment. And prior to that, we had conducted many auctions in a live and an online format simultaneous. We had never done an auction that was just online bidding only. And so my comment to the owner was, I'll be happy to do that. I don't think it's going to be a very good outcome. And much to our surprise, when that auction was concluded, the prices were very, very strong. The experience was very, very favorable. It was very good for the buyers as well as the seller. And so we decided at that point that there's a reason to look at moving into an online auction format only. Things are changing, and they're changing fast, and as a result, we've embraced that, and we found a better way to be able to sell things. Generation before, when your grandmother bought the dining room suit and she saved nickels and pennies and dimes, and when she saved up enough money, she went out and bought the dining room suit and she took it home and she treasured it. Every experience in life and family in that generation happened around that dining room table. Every memory that she had, every family sat down for dinner. That doesn't happen today, but that's what did used to happen. The next generation says it's just a dining room table. It's okay. I'm going to put it on Craigslist, or I'm going to put it on eBay, or I'm going to donate and give it away. I don't care. I'm just done with that. I'm finished with the table. With that challenge of what do I do with all of these things that are important to me, that have been my life? How do I feel better about selling those things? And opening up the world as the marketplace is a better way. And the world is the marketplace today, and technology has made that possible. We have the ability in all of our auctions that we do today to have somewhere between 2,000 to 5,000 unique IP addresses that visit that auction. My question to a seller would be, how can you bring that many buyers into your home to look at your possessions? We don't worry about weather. We don't worry about the time that the auction takes place. It's a better time because of evening times and the ability for buyers to bid at any time. It is altogether a better experience for the seller as much as it is for the buyer. Whether you are buying or selling, we are your trusted point of contact. AO Auctions is a one-of-a-kind auction experience.